All right, buddy. We're going now. Hector Gutierrez, the champ. Dude,
Let's go.
I haven't actually seen you in person or like talked to you over the phone since you won. Dude, I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the last time we saw each other was at Gold Shores, and
Playing fours,
yeah, we're
baby.
still really, really happy about it and enjoying every second.
Yeah, man, I feel like just because California's just owned the NCAA championships for so long, I feel like once it was a non-California versus California, even though it was LMU, someone who'd never been there too, I
Yeah,
feel like it was just East Coast versus LMU.
yeah. Well, it makes sense. Yeah, you said like, I mean, being the first ones out of California and outside the USC, UCLA, like it made it even more special. I mean, winning is awesome and it was great. But on top of that, like kind of like breaking the tradition of, only those two schools winning because you always wonder if this was a participation in sports, right? For everybody here. So, I mean, and it was great. I think we proved everyone can do it. I mean, we all know that. And it's, of course, from the past few years, the field has leveled a lot, and you can see all on the top eight, anyone can win. So it's awesome to see like everybody is coming for it. And I know from now on we will see more than that for
Yeah.
sure.
And I mean, you've got to be between you, Brooke Niles, Christina Hernandez over at Stetson,
Hmm.
John Mayer at LMU. I feel like you guys are some of the longest tenured head coaches. I mean, you were at TCU since 2016. You started
2016, Beth been there in Georgia
Beth
State for a
Van Vliet.
while
Yeah,
too. Marcio as well, been there for a long time.
yeah,
But yeah, that group that you just said, we've been 9, 10 years. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean,
Mhm.
like you've seen it literally from the first year, and you were there even as an assistant at Florida State
Yes.
for the OG NCAA championships. But how have you seen the level rise? Because now, like, you literally had a fifth place team at the Olympics close it out
Mhm.
for you. The level's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you said it has changed a lot since I was at Florida State because when I was there with Brooke, I mean we're good teams. It was Florida State and USC at the finals, and but you got those 3, 4 teams and UCLA, that year. It wasn't anything. The level dropped a lot after that. But right now, it's just, as you said, it's crazy. Like we have girls that are participating in the Olympics. You have girls too, they play in the FIV during the summer, internationals and Americans, that you have more physicality. Like it's more, uh, not like those defenders, not just the little defenders. You have a lot of like players that are 5'11", 6 feet, that can play defense. That it's a significant improvement from what I saw in 2015, 2014 till now. So which is great.
Yeah, has it changed sort of what you look for in a player when you're recruiting from 2016 to now?
Yeah. Well, the skill level is off the chart right now.
Yeah,
Before, I remember barely seeing people handsetting, which is
right.
one of the things that, I wish like people more handset. And now everybody does it, which is awesome because I think we coaches, when we go to clinics, I'm talking about the college coach, we go to clinics and we say, hey, handset, handset. And the club coach have done a really good job, like, forcing them to do it. But as I said, 10 years ago, there was not like few only, like, and that's one of the aspects in the game that has grown a lot. Physicality is the other one. You can see more girls like working out during the summer, during
Yeah.
the year, and that's being also great to see. It's more like well all around players, and more players. I still think we need more.
Yeah.
I don't. I wish we were at the level with caliber or that talent of players like Indoor has every year. But of course, that's been an improvement in the last few years. But as I said, skill level wise, everyone knows how to play. They understand the game. you have the physicality on that, it's just, it gets really exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy. When we were, Brooke sent me a really funny video, no context, just sent me this video of Alexis Durish when she was in high school. And Alexis, I think coming into next year will be one of the top defenders in the country. And she just sent me this video of terrible volleyball. And I was like, Brooke, why are you sending me no context these two girls who can like barely hit a serve over the net? And she's like, that was Alexis as a junior in high school. And now it's nuts. You look at some of these juniors in high school and they're out there winning medals on the world tour. And it's like, holy cow. And Alexis has developed, but that's like the baseline of where a lot of these kids are starting. It's wild.
Yeah, I know it's amazing because you see that talent in juniors and you can try to predict the future, which is really hard, see the potential of the athlete. But what really makes them better is the competition in college. Of course, the training is important, but when they start competing as a freshman, sophomore, when they get to junior, senior, if they're being on the line on a regular basis, is a totally different player that from day one.
Yeah, and the kids have changed a lot. How about you as a coach from 2016 first season to now national champ? How have you seen yourself change as a coach?
Um, I've changed a lot. I was more impulsive before, I guess, more fiery. And I didn't put myself on the player's shoes as much as I should have, and it's just, compete and win and you take care of them. But in the beginning, throughout the years, you learn how, navigate those waters as well, and like trying to understand that everyone is different, everyone have a different background, everyone have different needs. You cannot put everybody in the same box. You have to be sure that, like some athletes need something different than others, even, they're on the same team, like, you can be harder with some girls than with other ones. You cannot. It doesn't mean you're trying to please them. It's just how they function, right? And also make the team understand around there why you're doing those things. Why you're treating this one different than the other one. It's not because she's better, or I like her better than you. That's how we should do it because everyone is different. You cannot treat everybody the same way, like there's no way you can have the same level of fairness for everybody, but not like the treatment with the coach
Right.
relationship with players. Everyone have their own needs. And that's something that I have learned the last 10 years. I mean, of course, in the beginning when we start coaching college, I mean, you just have to find your ways. And that's one of the things that I think have changed a lot in the last few years, for sure.
And you coached professionals for the first bit. You coached what, Brittany Hochever and who else?
Emily there, yeah, Kelly, when she was Clay's before. Yeah, a bunch in Europe too. In Europe, I coached a few years before I came here. Yeah.
And what's the difference, do you think, between working with professionals versus college kids?
Well, the number for sure on the team is just
Yeah.
down to two. And well, when you coach the adults or professionals, it's a different mindset. Like with your team, with your coach in your corner, and you just work together, and different different mentality, like it's just more efficient in the beginning, because we're here to get the job done, and when the financials are involved, you take things differently.
Yeah.
And we know our sport that it's really hard financially in our athletes, so winnings want to give you more chances to make it. And it is just it's a different game too, it's getting closer, don't take me wrong. There's few girls on college, like I mean, like Danielle and Tanya, of course, like that, or Tina when she was at USC. Like there's like caliber of athletes that are getting there to that level because you being there too, like it's way faster the game on the world tour than in college,
Yeah.
It's that the speed of the ball that you can see it, and but we're getting there with few athletes, and that was one of the big difference, the speed of the ball, the adjustments comes quicker, that IQ. Of course, we're talking about people who've been doing this for for many years professionally, have played at the highest level. Um, but yeah, it's different because the relationships too. Like it's just you and two more, and those relationships are more intimate in the sense that the coach is really important figure on majority of those teams, and it's always the peacemaker, the psychologist, you know, the friend,
Right.
whatever it takes. But it's but I really like the college. College is more to develop, more to shape girls and the young ladies for what is coming in their life too, like understanding the importance of the teamwork, of like putting yourself in the other one's shoes, like like understanding that if you don't play much, what you can do to help others, like what is your role? Because at the end of the day in life, you might need to have that. I mean, well, probably you're gonna need it because life is tough. I mean, for some it's really hard. For others, not that hard, but you need to be prepared. Because out there is not easy.
Yeah, it's fun being a part of something. Such a big ecosystem with college, where because it's TCU Beach Volleyball, so you have obviously more than two, like you would professionally, but you're also linked with the football team and the basketball team and the whole athletic department. And I'm sure like TCU is a good sports school, and I'm sure that the support from your athletic department, it's just fun to be around. Like it's fun to be at such a sports school where Tallahassee, the whole city's built around the school. Like if you come
Yeah.
to Tallahassee, you're going here for Florida State things, to watch the football team, to watch the basketball team. Our football coach watches
Tailgates,
our,
yeah.
yeah, it's awesome. And I'm sure it's probably pretty fun for you down in Fort Worth as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, TCU is no different, and different scale because smaller school, but and we're more in the city, in Fort Worth. It's not like a college town. So, you have the neighbors involved, you have that sense of community. And like you said, in college, you represent all that. You represent the school and you represent the city of Fort Worth because a lot of the community is really involved, and that's of course like something way different than playing professionals, Playing professional, you represent your country, which is amazing, and yourself, right? But other than that, everything else gets like a little bit faded, right? Because people don't know you much. But in college, you always wearing, your college name and you're representing wherever you go. People stop you at the airport. People see you doing something somewhere else and they recognize it with TCU regardless. I mean, sometimes some people don't even know what sport, right? They just see you wearing a hat or and they think you play tennis or golf, but you're representing wherever you go, and that's what is makes college really really special.
Yeah, it's fun, like getting on a plane and just wearing, I'm sure you get this, wearing your TCU stuff or Seminole stuff, and someone just say, go Knowles, or, let's
Yeah,
go Florida
yeah.
State. And I'm like, sweet. It's just a big old
Well,
community.
this fun fact today, this is funny. A friend of mine from Spain, from the Canary Islands, I gave you one of the shirts when he came visit a few years ago. And he goes, "Hey, you won't believe it. I was walking on the street, going to the weight room to lift, and these two girls stopped me on the street. And he said, are you going to TCU? Like two girls who like on the swimming team here." And then like kind of like on the other side of the wall, like talking about it, like
Yeah.
one was an alumni and the other one is still competing for the swimming team here. And they just saw the TCU t-shirt like in Spain. They were kind of like shocked about it, right? Like, hey, we need to ask this person why she's
Yeah.
wearing that shirt.
Man, it's fun stuff. It makes the
I
world
know.
that much smaller.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, coming into to this year, obviously you had a lot of pieces in your lineup. You had a ton of experience, a lot of really good players. Did you feel any pressure? Like if this year wasn't the one, you're like, man, it's going to take a minute to rebuild to get back to that.
For me, every year is the one, right? When you have the
Right.
team for the
Yeah.
coach, and then we have a really good teams in the past, not just this one. So always you've had the feeling, hey, we have the chance. For obviously this year, when Daniel and Tanya stopped for 1 year, Maria stopped for 1 year, the Puerto Rican, and they go for the Olympic run. They made the Olympics. Maria was really close to make it. So you think about all that experience coming back and pour it all on the team and on the table. Like, of course, you think like, oh shoot, like this have to be it. We're not gonna be able to have two Olympians plus the other ones who's been competing in the highest level, plus the team we have to win a national championship because every year it gets harder and harder, and you saw it, right? Everyone, as I said, on the top eight, like can win. And I didn't feel the pressure of freaking out, like kind of like, oh, we need to do it, guys. We barely talk about it, to be honest. We from the beginning, first year on the meeting, I mean, they girls know, they girls know we have a good team. But I decided not to talk much about it because I don't think having that type of pressure will help. The girls are smarter than we think they are sometimes. So you just, hey, we have the team to win. We know we're here to win, and we just work hard for it. And that's what we did every day. Just but not we talk about it when we have to talk about it, but it wasn't anything that we every day I feel the pressure to tell them to when we have about practice or someone was doing something. On the other hand, we do it the opposite. We just took it like it was like, you know, another season with a great team and compete and see where we are in mid-season and at the end of the season and really understand and keep believing that if we do what we need to do, we are gonna have a great chance to win and to be ready when that moment comes to grab it. And yeah, it was an amazing response for the girls too because they really appreciate the coaches not being on top of them, like reminding me all the time, like because sometimes we get on like, oh, you're doing this, what happened? You're not committing enough. You don't want to win a national championship. I'm the only one. So that communication was totally different. We understand everyone was here to win, regardless that sometimes we make mistakes on and off the court. But that doesn't mean that you're not committed. That doesn't mean that you're a college student and those things happen. So
Yeah, and you mentioned all the experience. I mean, you had Danielle Alvarez and Tanya Moreno, and then you had Haley Hamlet, Maria Gonzalez on two,
Haley,
both seniors.
mhm. Yes.
And then you had Alanis Navas senior, right? And then
Yeah, Lani
Sophie.
Maria was a senior.
Okay, and then Sophie
Haley
is a
was
squeeze. She's a freshman. Man, she's already so dang good.
Sophia. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but man, she's gonna be something special.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about her. I think that she grew a lot with Alanis, which that was part of they didn't start the season together, but after the tournament in Hawaii, we made some changes and she needed someone like Alanis to make her grow on her game and that confidence in the first year in college. And I mean, she did a great job for sure.
Yeah, and then you're whatever you guys do for weights, it worked because I remember seeing Alanis a lot on the World Tour when I was coaching Try and Came, and she was strong. But then this year TCU, I was like, man, she is flying. I mean, she
Yeah.
was so strong.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Logan, our strength coach, has been doing a really good job. Since I got here, we got like few strength coaches. You know how college athletic is. People
Right.
comes and go, especially for the type of jobs that they're always like evolving. And maybe some people really like football and they have a really good opportunity and they go. But Logan has been with us for the last 4 or 5 years. So the benefit of starting with someone new is that you can like educate him on the sport because none of handful of strength coaches have experience in beach volleyball because it's so new. So
Right.
everybody comes the background, track, football, stuff like that. So it's totally different. So that was a challenge in the beginning because you're like, hey, we need to do this. But after, Lon is a really smart guy. He's just starting to figure out things out. And the most important thing is to keep the girls healthy and avoid injuries while they're strong, fast, and explosive, right? So there's a lot of equations there, and we communicate very well. We just plan practice around what he does in the weight room, pretty much like the highs and lows. So if he has a really hard day in weight room, we just have a low day on the beach, on the sand, whatever, and vice versa. And we change things with him. We started with doing 3 days of weights. I talk to him and say, hey, what if we do four? And we just do more days, make this more like a consistent thing, right? Like you go to the weight room just because, not because my coach is telling me to go to the weight room. You have to do it. It's part of it, right?
Right.
Like, and we split it in 4 days, and the guys really like it because it's a little bit shorter, and you work the same, even a little bit more. So it's like more intense, and you get everything done. And it's something always to keep your body going, right? Because at the end, the season is really stressful, it's really long that there's no time to stop. So we say, hey, just keep it going from the beginning, with sense, with nothing like to be overloaded or anything. with a plan. I mean, yeah, you can see like Haley Hamlet too. Like she was, how she came here, how she left, like physically flying, hitting the ball harder, like, like transition from split to defender and being all American for 2, 3 years. Like, like you said, Alani, she was already strong, but come here and you see the jump, like, and that's what we talk about it, like how we're gonna get to the finals to be more prepared than the other one, you know. And we just play and see who does it better, but we need to be prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so you had those three, one, two, three were pretty much all seniors except for Sophia. And then on
Lena,
four,
Lena's a junior. Lena was a junior, so she's gonna be a senior this year.
Lena Camille.
Yes,
Man, she's so dang good. I was
and now she's
so
doing
impressed.
good now this summer too.
Yeah,
Yes,
watching her beat Kristen and Taryn. I was like, damn, she was
yeah.
on court four.
So she, so she has, yeah, I got your text. I remember. Yeah, one more year. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's having a great summer though. But how much do you look at, do you rely on leadership from the experienced players you have? Because I think there's about like coaches, you can say so much, but I think there's a lot of
Mhm.
value coming from leadership when it's from your top players or more
Mhm.
experienced themselves.
Mhm. That's a great question. The leaders, some of the leaders that they they made themselves on the team. We have an idea who can work better than others. Like for instance, like Tanya is a leader on the silent side of the things. Like when she talks, everyone listens, but she's not like over talking to the team or she's a role player, a role like teammate, right? Always like one of the best players on the team, if not the best, like doing everything how it's supposed to be done. Working hard, like being on time, being sure she doesn't forget her stuff. Stuff like that that you need in a team culture, and you see it from her. It just you have no other option just to do it, right?
Right.
Because she never complains. She does what have to do. Of course, she speaks up from her and her teammates. But and on the other side, you have Daniela, that she's not the silent leader, but she's the leader on the court, and again, like working hard, playing, winning, caring about everybody, and goes there and support. And we have other leaders on the team that the players that they're not on the lineup, but they understand the role and they put everything on the team. That everything, whoever needs anything, communicating with coaches. Hey, coaches, this player is going through something. Let's see how we can figure this out. Like caring, like really caring about the program. And that when you combine all that, there's like, there's a when it's a crack. The whole point of this is like there is a crack. We cannot anything get in it. We just need to hold it together. And we'll be building this culture that everyone have a voice, everyone have a role, and we're here to listen to help you out. And the team just take care of the team. There's things and we're really hands off on hey, when it's something that the coaches really need to participate, we're here. But you guys are the ones who need to like start figuring out how to solve these issues or no issues, whatever that might be. Like a freshman being freshman, someone being late, whatever. You guys as a team need to figure that out. You are the one who need to tell the players to where are the standards, not only the coaches. But of course, if the thing escalates to a different level, we're here for that. So it's not like a job from 1 year that's been doing since we
Right.
got here. And now there's a little crack. Instead of like exploded and everything gets in, we just hold it together, we just fix it, and nothing gets in. So it's tough because when you play at this level where it's so competitive, you have so many good players that everybody would love to be in the lineup. You have to be really good with your team culture because if not, it gets toxic, it gets too competitive and in the bad way because we're competitive, but we have a healthy competitiveness on throughout the team. But if you cannot know how to try to control those things, it is tough for a team like when you want to win a national championship.
Right. And for Danny and Tanya, I feel like they probably had such a unique in position kind of similar to Tina. So Tina goes out, gets a fourth in the
Mhm.
Olympics, comes back to SC, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, where every court one in the nation,
Well, yeah.
they wanted to beat Danny and Tanya. I mean, how was that for those two? Because that can get tiresome after
It
a
is.
while.
No, it is. It is funny though because yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, that's what we talk to the players. Like, one of the things that we've been working from the last few years is like you just need to take care of business on your court, right? We can because in the past sometimes like players, oh, I will lose, but I know Daniel and Tanya are gonna win, right? And they're gonna save the day or whatever, like they don't voice it, but you can feel it, right? You can say like, this year was different. This year, like everybody was like, no, this is my court, this is what I need to do. And with Daniela and Tanya having that gap year and coming back, they feel the pressure differently, because they're team to beat, and they're like a team that is always like calm, their competitiveness, but it's not like you're never gonna see them like going for a lap and crazy. So yeah, they lost a couple games in college, and it's like people is like not them, like I was one of the ones like say, hey, we're losing. I don't care about if you guys lose. It's the way of doing it. How we gonna find a solution for next ones. We need to get better at these things. Because you can lose. I know. No one. It's everybody's beatable. But that they felt the pressure because all eyes on them. They finished fifth in the Olympics, the youngest team in the Olympics. They finished fifth. They play France and under the Eiffel Tower. It's all like French people on the court.
Right.
They beat them. That kind of experience is like, how are you gonna match that? It's hard, right? So they got here, and it's not like they don't want to win. You saw they want to win, but it just I think the transition coming, representing the school, having everybody around the court, which is different than on the tour, everything that got a little bit like, oh wow, we're here again, right? In the beginning. Okay. And but everybody else was like, yeah, we got you. And you can lose, we're gonna win. We're gonna win our core, and if you win, great. If you lose too, but we're gonna win our core. So that was the mentality, not just relating or like, oh, because pretty much every time they lost this year, we end up winning the duel. Even Daniel and Tanya. Yeah. So it's kind of like it speaks volumes or the mentality of everybody else. They're just not waiting for them to say the day. And that was cool to see, because I think it gave them also a little bit of, that piece of like, okay, I know we're supposed to win, but if we lose, which is part of the deal, the team is gonna be fine because that's what we told the goal girls. Like, I don't. It's really hard to win at the ones,
Yeah.
regardless how good you are.
Yeah.
And it is really, they feel the pressure too. Like some athletes feel the pressure to be on the lineup and they don't want to screw it up to be out. But how you compare that pressure to the ones that they play at the highest level that they know they have to win too? Like, so we work on those things too. Like, hey, there's pressure for everybody. Or you think like the top or Haley, play at the twos. Haley, we have to put it with Daniela because Tanya was out for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
And we put two lefties at the ones. And what kind of pressure you give put Haley with Daniela, and Haley's like, okay, well, I need to win now, right? And she did a tremendous job. They were winning and winning and winning. I think they lost a couple, but hey, but the team won on the other side. So
Right.
it's kind of like, it was good to see how everybody was up for the challenge.
Yeah. Do you think was there any kind of like come down from them? Because you said you're playing France at the base of the Eiffel Tower
Yeah.
at the Olympic Games, and now you're playing in early March and it's raining and there's 18 people there huddled up in ponchos. Like it's because I remember talking to when I was coaching Tryon Came, they played Chase Budinger and Miles Evans in Manhattan after the Olympics,
Mhm.
and I was sitting there. And Jess, Chase's wife, she was like, even for Manhattan, it's not the Eiffel Tower. And they're having kind of a little bit of a hangover from that. I mean, did they have any kind of come down just from the Olympics to try to sort of reframe themselves of this is what we're playing for now?
I think what I said before was more like the feeling of the team atmosphere. That was the hardest. for them. I think I don't know, think for sure they were here because they want to be here.
Right.
That's another thing that was by them to for the decision to come back, right? But they in their heads was winning the whole thing always. It was harder was the to handle. We're Daniel and Tanya, as you said, playing 4 games this weekend. How are we gonna manage all these emotions again with the team? And you go for a year to what I said before, a year from being you and your coach, 3 people, maybe 4, to you, Daniela, plus 20 players, plus 3 coaches. That's what it, the not having that freedom of, you with Daniela and Tanya in the tournament, and the coach, hey, I'm gonna get a coffee and come back in 30 minutes, whatever, on the
Right.
road. Or, I'm gonna being, oh no, I have to be with the team. I need to do this, and we need this as scheduled. I think that was the hardest part, in the beginning, but it makes sense. But just to give you an example, that it sounds wild, and it gets related with the wife told you on the Manhattan Beach. It's Manhattan Beach, but it's not the Eiffel Tower. This is the opposite. So we win. It goes to Daniel and Tanya, and there was crying. Everybody's happy. And when you talk to them after, they're like emotionally crying and said, "I never felt this ever in my life." And we play at the Olympics. The
That's really
pressure,
cool.
the pressure, the emotion, the feeling is, and she goes that Tanya and Daniel said, "That sounds crazy, but we never felt this before." And they're being on the biggest stage that an athlete can be. I don't think it can get more iconic than it was on the Eiffel Tower. And wearing gold shorts, and those athletes right after telling you that you can understand that the feeling of representing something, right? Representing the team, the teammates, like their sisters, their work they've been doing here for 4 years. The importance of the work for the staff. And that's amazing because I was like, never in my head would like cross my head like, oh, you guys are here. Like this should be a piece of cake, right? Like, but I mean, emotionally, like it's hard playing. I know they said like they feel more nervous, they feel more pressure, and at the end they feel even more like explosion of that emotion that they never experienced that before. So that was really cool to hear from them.
That is really cool. And I think it speaks to what makes College Beach so
Yes.
special is it's completely different. Where like you said, you're representing Spain if you're Danny and Tanya, sure, but it's just you two and a coach, or you two and
Mhm.
maybe 2 coaches, and it's not that tight with the rest of the country versus TCU, you got I don't know how many girls you had in your roster, say 20 other people,
20 plus,
coaches,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you got fans and parents there, and it's really tight. Like it's a
Oh
really tight
yeah.
knit group, and I think that they knew that they were kind of the standard bearers of the team, and that you
Hmm.
probably had to be feeling pretty good. 2-2 comes down to that court.
Yeah,
It
I
probably
was.
could.
Yeah, well, you never know, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, what else, right? It gets to your best team. So let's be it. Let's just play the best against the best, and they're looking outside. They see everybody on the sides or their teammates from 4 or 5 years. That's you said. That's what it makes college sports way different than anything else that you can experience.
And what was it like for you? Because I don't know how you guys do it at TCU. I feel like every coach, every college does it different. Where I know LMU, John's got his teams that he works with, and Angela Benson worked with her teams.
Mm.
We switched it around a lot at Florida State until we kind of got a decent rapport with each pair. But were you on Danny and Tanya's court, or were you kind of
No, Maho wasn't that core. I was with the fours with Lena and Anna. And the fives, Stacy and Daniela. And Daniel was pretty much with Sophia and Alanis the whole season.
okay?
And Maho was in the ones and twos. We started in the beginning a little bit different. We just make some switches, and we also see who reacts better to different personalities, in the coaching. And we stuck with it. We stuck with it. We do during practices. We do a bunch of groups too, and at the end we really individualize with teams, and just the coach who's gonna be with that specific team. And how that is in the season, and it's really beneficial because you really understand. Like better if you coach them on a regular basis during practice, like like trying to do that hour with them only. You know what to expect on the court. You know what to say, without, like make everybody more nervous or, giving better insights and all this stuff. But yeah, I think every college finds that line, of work of like, hey, think you really do a good job with this team, just stick with it. And yeah, well, that line of work for us, we've doing it for a few years. It have worked. Sometimes with changes, sometimes especially when you play 5 courts at the same time, it's like we divided like, who's gonna be closer.
Right.
The threes and five, we do that, or you don't see it much, but those little adjustments, and we have teams that we like to live and play by themselves. I mean, Daniel and Tanya can play by themselves. Daniel and Tanya, I don't
It,
think yeah, they need a coach, but I mean, until what point they need a coach? Like you just help them here and there. You try to provide some, but at the end of the day, like they're good enough to make adjustments. They're good enough to understand what's going on, and we're there just to support and show them stuff that maybe they're missing. And that's it.
and what was it like for you as a coach? Just because as coaches, we can't pass, we can't set, we can't hit, we can't actually do anything. And so you're sitting there watching a national championship come down to 15 points, and you've been coaching for long enough. For me, like as a new coach, I get way more nervous as a coach than I ever did as a player because you have so much more, you have all the control in the world as a player. But as a coach, you're just like, all right, let's just see if we prepared them well enough and let's see how it goes.
and and that's what I got better too. As I said in the beginning of the interview, like it just we can't do anything. I don't think the frustration helps. I think the more calm you are, the better they feel. And as you said, like it is tough being there, and we always talk about it. Hey, I don't play. You guys are the one playing. You're the guys winning. I mean, we're here to help you be the most successful you can be. And that's something that I learned. Like, of course, that there's moments that you need to keep it going, and if you have to be tough, you're tough. But that's the balance. You cannot be tough all the time. You cannot be just chill all the time. There needs to be like a response. They need to feel it. They need to like. That's why it's very important the relationships that you have with that team you're coaching. That okay, we see it, but now it's time. Now, and it is really thin line, because of course we're there and say, oh shoot, like we work on that so many times. Why is not working? Like we just talk about it, and you just, or you have to say, hey, how we figure this out. We know it's gonna happen, stuff like that. But as I said, when I'm hard when I have to be hard, and I'm chill when I have to be chill. But these are working with those young athletes. The more confidence you give them, the best. And it's different teams. Some teams, like if you coach Alani, you can coach her. You can go like hard on her, and it's like doesn't really affect her. She likes it, right? She likes hey, if you wanna push me. And Sophia's a little bit more, like, hey, yeah, I got it, and Lena the same, and Anna's more like, okay, and Lena's like, you can tell Lena, you can be hard on her. So those things that when you need some of those players to kind of like, no, wake up, like to kind of like, hey, let's make an adjustment. We do it, we do it, and but as you said, like it's just being outside watching at times is like biting your lip and kind of like, okay, yeah, just why, but it's tough. It is really hard because I mean it's a sport that it's everyone's gonna make errors, and sometimes they're like errors you don't like, but you're just trying to balance as best as you can.
Yeah. What was it like? When did you know that you guys had it? I mean, you had back-to-back 4-1 switches. For me, when I was watching, I saw that 4-1 switch. I was like, it's game over. But as a head coach, it's never, it could have been probably 14-2 if I were coaching. I'd been like, we still need
No,
one
no,
more.
I totally agree. Well, when it went down to the third set, I mean, we wanted the fourth and it was huge. I think it was part super a key factor for us to win when we wanted the fourth. We won the first set. And when we were down in the second set, I think it was 17-13 or 18-13 or something like that. And I was in court five, I come back. their LMU is playing great. We just, their is figuring things out. And Anna and Lena pulled it off. Somehow, the
They were
Lena started
down.
getting,
They were down 18-13.
yeah, or something like that. Yeah, it
Wow.
was on the second set. We won the first one, so I was like, oh shoot, like hopefully we don't go to the third,
Right.
because it's gonna be tough. And we and Lena started touching more balls. Like uh, Anna started digging more, putting balls away quick, everything quick with a good pace. And it's like we pull that one off, and it's like okay, now it's gonna, whatever goes to core one. And as you said, like it's like 4-1, 7-2, and I'm still thinking outside because I wasn't even on the bench. I was like on the other side. I was just standing by myself behind the court, watching, cheering. And I was like, I remember I was like telling myself, don't get too excited yet. Do not make that mistake. Just, just keep doing what you're doing. And of course, when you get like 13-6 or whatever it was, I don't remember, like you say, okay, it's gonna happen. They're gonna miss a serve, they're gonna hit a ball out. I mean, there's no way Daniel and Tanya, they're not gonna side out for 8 balls in a row. Like
Right.
it's not gonna happen, right? And yeah, and sure enough, Daniela got the block, and that's everyone went crazy there.
Yeah. That jump into the golf had been pretty great.
Yeah,
Did it live up to the expectations? Because I see all those pictures. I'm like, man, that looks fun.
you know what? It does because it's just it is funny because our chancellor came or president came or AD came with their wives and they being around sports for so long. They've been not just at TCU, they've been on different universities too. And other people from TCU, when they saw that, it's like, this is the coolest thing we've ever seen in college athletics. Like that, you know, I don't know how you want to call it, but that parade to the ocean or to the Gulf, they were like so impressed. And that's the feeling, just knowing that's part of the tradition, part of the winning a national championship. I don't think a lot of sports have that. It's let the girls, cutting the net, like everything, you're cutting the net. Where's Nick? Oh, Nick is jumping in the water. Like, okay, let's hold hands and go down there. And everybody's on the sides, like cheering and clapping. It's just an amazing. It really goes beyond the expectations, And I mean, I don't know for how long the girls were in the water taking pictures, but for a solid hour for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, I was still am super excited and happy for you. It's a huge achievement. And now how long, because I mean sports they don't stop, right? How long did you get to celebrate before you're like, all right, it's back to work and we got a lot to rebuild for the
Well,
twenty-five,
I
26?
celebrate. I try to celebrate every day, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when you get back to school, we have a parade. Everybody, our offices are decorated outside. It's pretty cool, and you have. But it is such a hard thing to accomplish that one of the issues that we have, especially me personally, was not enjoying enough, what you do, and that's one of or things on the team like we need to enjoy this,
Yeah.
not just enjoy the whole journey, not just enjoy when you get there in that sense. So one of our things was enjoying every single weekend we got to play, every single time we're as a team together, every single thing that we sometimes don't pay attention to it, just enjoy with it, and and I think that was one of the, if not the one that it really makes us like skyrocket our level through the season, especially at national. So, and that's what I'm doing now too. I try to enjoy every day and just thinking about the future and reload and whatnot. But I can't forget what we have accomplished. I can't just say, okay, well, where's the next one? You forgot that one. Yeah,
Right.
where's the next one? That's the goal, and that's what we're gonna work for. But keep enjoying every single second because I think, as you said, like what we have done is, especially coming from Fort Worth, right? Not having traditional in beach volleyball, coming here. The season I got here the year before, we're 0-11, the team, like in 2016. Like looking back and how we built this powerhouse here, like, having a lot of people wants to come here only the sixth national championship for TCU in history. We one of
Wow.
them, That's something we should enjoy, be proud of it. Like it cannot just finish when we won in May. You have to, without losing their future and the reality of it, not just thinking, oh, I just won one and that's it. But that's what it makes me now be more eager to win another one,
Yeah.
enjoying it and understanding how cool it is and how hard it was. And you just keep every day with the same mentality. And I think the girls are doing the same thing. They keep talking about it. They just, how the sharing the feelings, right? Sharing the
Yeah.
feelings, like to keep it for years to come, to teach the other ones they're gonna come and they weren't here, stuff like that. And that's something that I promised myself. I need to enjoy more, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, man, I think it's super important to enjoy the big wins and enjoy the small wins
Oh
and take
yeah.
time to acknowledge it. Hey, we've done an awesome thing. Let's sit in it for a minute because everyone's always ready to do,
Listen,
what's next? What's
and
this?
because when you get to that stage, you need to. We've been there a few times, and we said we got. I think in the past we got a team to win too. But not only one can win, right? And you learn from your times there. You learn like what we can do better next time. And in the past, we didn't enjoy enough. Gold Shore is such a special place because our sport don't have that in every single weekend. Maybe basketball or football has it, all the attention, all the TV, all the interviews. We just go to the Gold Shores and like probably that's the second interview that one of the girls have all year, like but outside of the school, like you have the ESPN, you have people looking at you, you have the little girls playing the junior tournament, want to take a picture with you. So it's super special, right? And it's single elimination, all that. So how we can make this moment the less stressful possible, right? And that's what I said before. From mid-year on, we realized a few things. Like, for example, like we go to LSU to play the West or East meets West. All the top schools are Stanford, UCLA, USC. Like
Right.
we get into a tournament at number 3, I think. And the girls know if we win everything, we walk out of the Baton Rouge as a number 1, right? And they're like, oh, we played in Hawaii, we lost, blah blah blah. Okay. We go there, we start practicing. And the day before the competition, it is a totally disaster. Everyone are like quiet, really, like what the heck? Like we're here to play, right? So start the practices. There's a lot. I don't know where they were going in their heads, right? Because you always try to tell them, hey, don't worry about it. Just, it's a tournament. We just go and play. But I think where I realized like they need to feel it. They cannot just listen and hear. They need to feel that. So I go, you know what? Let's play few fun games and we're gonna play fours against fours. And we play few fun games, fours against four for a solid like 30 minutes. I play with them. Daniel was playing too. I just heckling them. You just, like whatever, blocking them, doing it. For 30 minutes. We got a water break and say, okay, are we ready to continue the practice? Say, yes, we finished the practice. We just finished. We did what we need to do. We all have a same plan, kind of. For that day on, oh, we went undefeated at LSU, right? We just won. We did everybody. But for that day on, we did the same thing every practice before a tournament. And
I
we
love
just
that.
did we'll warm up, whatever, play fours, finish the practice with the side out drill, whatever. We did it. We did it at Gold Shores. We did it at Cal Poly. We did it. Taking that consistency, like not just to get to Gold Shores and do something different. The point was like having something that when you get to Gold Shores, like, oh, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing. So this is part of us. This is part of like what we do. And it was great, because the girls, as I said, they felt it. They understood why we did it, and they love it. The whole point was like taking that pressure out of them because already, like you said, they play. I'm not the one signing out. I'm not the
Right.
one thinking like, shoot, don't jump serve in the corner right now. I'm on the freaking ocean side, right? Like I just so so when we get to Gold Shores, we just continue that, and enjoy everything, enjoy the practices, enjoy. And I remember, I think it was Wednesday, we have a team dinner at the pool downstairs. by the ping pony, and they have a beach court now there, which is awesome. I mean, we
Yeah.
play, remember?
Yeah.
And I talked to Logan, our strength coach, and I go like, hey, go to the big souvenir store there, get like beach games, whatever, get a football, get a like some paddles, like whatever you want. And after dinner, we can have a good moment out there with the team, like something that get our heads outside the all this noise and all the TCU should win or this is the year, whatnot. And so he goes there, we have dinner, we talk about the schedule next day because that's when you start with the interviews and the practice and whatnot. And I go, hey, and after dinner, these games are here. I put it in the ground for you guys to play. You want to stay, whatever. A couple of girls came and goes like, Coach, we don't have to be here for more than 10 minutes, right? I said, you don't have to play, you don't want to. Like, I mean, you can be for 2 minutes, 10, 15, whatever you want. We just put it in there. Some of you wants to have a little good time. Great. Next thing I noticed, an hour in, everybody was still playing games
I
there.
love that.
Whatever. They build a baseball court. They we have spike ball. They were like playing with their friends. Those are the difference, right? Playing with their, not like thinking about what's gonna happen tomorrow or in 2 days. So just enjoying part of the journey being there. And after that, like an hour and 15, someone called me and they said, hey, you want them to still playing? Like, well, if they want to, I don't, so they say, I'm here having ice cream with my daughter. So you guys want to come? So everybody came. We got an ice cream, whatever. And in that feeling, I think it was mission accomplished. We did what we need to do. We just, you guys are here to win, but you are also guys here to enjoy it somehow, and keep your heads in a different spot because just thinking about it the whole time or sitting in the hotel or just waiting for the moment, it gets like what I said in one of the meetings, don't let the moment be bigger than your dream, because if not, it will eat you alive. So we just, things that you try to help and but you need the team to embrace it, right? To understand the meaning behind it. And that was awesome. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to what you've helped build as far culture wise at TCU. Just the ability, like you said, it just looked like kids having fun with their friends. And I
Mhm.
mean, you've got girls from all over the map. You've got Ukraine and Spain and the US and Puerto Rico, different languages, different cultures, different backgrounds. I mean, 50 of the US states, you might as well be from a different country half the time. Florida and
Yes.
New York, different
Yeah.
countries for the
Yeah.
most part. And I think that speaks to what an excellent job you've done building a culture there because it's hard to bring
Yeah.
20 young women together competing for the same goal and getting them on the same page. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And thank you. I mean, especially when the backgrounds, the nationalities, the personalities, everything. Like Lena comes here, the war started when she comes here, so she can barely go home or see her mom, stuff like that. And Daniel and Tanya having the Olympic dream in their heads, but competing for TCU and being at the highest level. So what we're trying to do, the standards are the standards for everybody. You come here to play just college, or you come here because you wanna try to go to the Olympics or whatnot. The standards are the same. We're not gonna like uh, practice less or practice more because you want this and you want that. And it's that we created our TCU, and this is what we do here, regardless. And it's been great because having those backgrounds that you said, even from the States, like for all Florida, California, like, everywhere, Europe and Canada, like they, your mind opens up. You need to really understand because you have to. There's no other option. You cannot just don't put yourself in somebody else's shoes because it's so different, right? Like, the education, the food, the tradition of the sport, whatever, all that the team atmosphere, like the Americans, here is an awesome job how kids grow up with that team atmosphere feeling, every sport you do. In Europe's a little bit different, like it's more like you, more insulated, whatever. And understanding, hey, that girl is not selfish. She doesn't know what this means, and vice
Right.
versa.
Right.
Like she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it not because she doesn't want to. It's because she's have to learn she needs to have to learn how to appreciate this team culture, how what the team means, like all that, and that makes everybody perspective change, and that's when magic things happen, in my opinion, because everyone's like, okay, wow, I'm all of a sudden I get it, all of a sudden I get it, and now these are the standards. Okay, let's go for it, and I mean, you can ask. I mean, everybody on our team, like, they love it. The Americans love it, the internationals love it, They just love that feeling and that culture that they have created along with the coaches. I mean, the alumni. I mean, can't forget the alumni. They've been here for, they already graduated 3 years ago. They're a huge part of this. They just
Yeah.
came and they just make it better for the next one. And we have people on the team that they play and know a lot. They still being, and no one wants to transfer. We have 26 girls.
Wow.
I mean, 26 is here, and it's like, how that happened? Well, they're it's not like they're not eager to play. They don't have any expectation to not play, and they're like, okay, I don't play, I don't care. No, they, on the other hand, they do care. They want to be part of this, and they want to keep fighting for their spot. They understand is the bar is up here, but they also understand the benefit of being part of the team for them personally. So, and that's huge. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and I know that Maho's been a huge part of
Yeah,
building that culture as
absolutely.
well for a long time, and she's going to pursue other interests. And you brought in a pretty notable
Yeah.
assistant.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Miles being amazing. Of course, like we're wouldn't be here without her as well. Like it's just we building this from pretty much I was 2 years in or three, I remember, and getting on the thick of it, and together along with Daniel, because Daniel had been here for, I mean, as a volunteer, third assistant coach with us, and it's been amazing. Of course, like we're gonna be forever grateful for everything because she poured everything. Moving from San Diego, coming to Fort Worth, recruiting her, explaining her like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're not really good right now, but like, and yeah, it been great. I'm really happy for her because she's, as you said, like she's gonna follow different professional path, like she's studying for it, so she really wants to do it. And it's kind of like mic drop, right? You win a national championship, you say, okay, well, I'm
Right.
done. But yeah, she's being huge, and I'm happy and I'm sad, and just she knows we wish her the best. And yeah, we after I mean we knew this from before national, from him and Mao and I would talk, and so I had some time right after nationals to think about, hey, what is going to be next? Who can come here to make an impact? And I understand where we're not only defending a national championship, that how we can preserve this culture that it makes us is separate from others. And Sarah's Sponsil came to my head. I mean, I remember when I coach against her, like you can tell that she's, or she was, when she was in college, like that extra coach on the court, not just on her court, like on the team, right? You can tell how the mentality, right? And how she did the warm-ups, how she played, how she interact with others, like, and we have had some friends in common. So I asked because I know she was playing indoor, but um, I haven't followed her much, to be honest, just here and there and see after the Olympics and all that. I went to California one day because they were looking for a coach, and she was with Kelly. I worked with them for a couple of days, but we never were like friends or close or keep contact. Just asked a few people about it, and I give her a call and say, hey, this might be, something that you won't expect, but I'm looking for a new assistant coach, and man, like she was all in from the first call. She was super sweet, super excited about giving back all her experiences, because she said, "Hey, beach volleyball was my life, and I have to, and through the years, I have to learn how to manage the highs and lows, and I wish I had someone on my side to help me through those moments because like." yeah, the Olympics is the ultimate goal, but I went to the Olympics, so what's next, right?
Right.
Kind of like,
Right. Right.
and yeah, and and it's something that when I explained her what we do here, she was like, "Oh, that's what I need right now." Kind of like that's what something that it really fits her, like and we hit it off right away. We talked. She came here, saw the school, meet some of the girls, like, and yeah, we're really excited. It's true, like she coaching wise, like in college, she's no experience, but I don't think that's gonna be a a problem
Yeah.
because I keep telling her she's in top shape. If you want to play today, you probably can still play out there
Oh,
and
no
be one of the
doubt.
best. Oh,
Yeah.
no doubt. And yes, the knowledge and the experience and being, she was at LMU, went to UCLA, played both, win, play pro, go to Olympics with COVID, like, what else, right? Like we can throw a 23-year-old or 22-year-old and when she went there and all that I think is invaluable like and she she knows the game, she sees it, I think it's for the team it's going to be amazing. The girls are really excited. I'm really excited to see what she can bring, new ideas, new energy, a new person, and really looking forward to start with her.
Yeah, it's exciting. I haven't chatted with her in a while. I remember we got dinner after her first season with the Rise, the Grand Rapids Rise, but I haven't chatted with her in a while since. But that's a good get for you. The reload at TCU has begun.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said, one of the things that somehow came to my head, like, what is she doing? And I call Holly McPeak and say, "Hey, Holly, what is Sarah doing? Like, do you?" Because Holly and I were friends
Yeah,
with my wife too, really good friends. And she said, "Well, let me figure it out, right?" Like, she's in text her and say, "Hey, yeah, she's doing this, but I think she's." And say, "Okay, let me reach out." I'm trying to feel it out there. But yeah, it's as I said, the reload started it, and and the girls are the most important, because when you have a figure like Mao, really important on the team, like for so many years, like a key piece on the whole puzzle, like how are you gonna make the transition and make it like less shakeable possible, right? I think we're very fortunate and lucky that someone like Sarah would like to come up to the challenge, because the challenge at the end of the day, you just gonna jump to the team who have just won, and want to keep winning. And she told me like, hey, I haven't, coach, she's the
right.
juniors or whatever, but she knows she can bring a lot. So that's that confidence, it just caught my eye right away. So some other people will be scared, like, oh, I haven't coached, why you want me, right? No, she
Right.
goes, I know I can bring a lot. I know I can help, I know I have a lot to learn, but I can help these girls. I can do it. And that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, well, man, congrats on all the things. Congrats on the national
Thank you.
championship. Congrats on having a good fill-in for Maho, who's going to be hard to replace. But I'm excited for Sarah. I know that she's been kind of looking for stability, because beach volleyball as a player, not the most
Yeah.
stable career you can choose. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see her. So you guys are coming to us. What first weekend of the year, second weekend, one of those.
Second, I think the second weekend of the season. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going there. Yeah,
Yeah, excited to have
but
you
you will
guys
see
in
her
town.
recruiting in July.
Yeah, true, true.
It's Hermosa, Manhattan, all that area. Well, mostly Hermosa, but she will be there, and you will have a chance to see her and talk to her.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it'll be fun to catch up. But good catching up with you.
Thank
Congrats
you.
again on the big win. And man, we'll be seeing a lot of each other the next
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, we
I
got to get
know.
another fours game. If you're out there in
We
July.
should
Yeah, are you
get back
recruiting
because
in California in July?
I heard Nick couldn't move 3 days after we played those three games in a row. So Uh, no, yeah, I'm going to Spain for 2 weeks, as I told you before, and after I will go to California. So, we had some games down
Yeah,
for sure. Mid July and July.
sweet.
We probably got a chance to see each other and play.
Yeah. All right, well let's get some force games out in July. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, brother. Good catching up and congrats again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Travis. And Then we'll see you around, man.
All
Thank you.
right, later, Hector.
Bye.